Hello everyone and welcome back to Miss Key's classroom. My name is Rachel and today's video is a little bit different because you guys are actually going to join me as I head into school today because I'm going to be showing you a sort of day in the life of a high school teacher. Right now I'm in my car about to head into school. The time is 7:30, so I'm going to head into school now and I will see you all when I get in there. I'm not really sure what this video is going to turn out like and what I'm going to film when I'm at school, but I'm sure I can show you lots of different things, have a chat about different things. So yeah, I'm going to head into school now and I'll see you all when I get there. Alright, so I have made it to school. The time is just after 8:10. So for now, I've got myself a coffee and I'm going to get myself set up for the day. This morning at 8:30, I've got a staff meeting and then my first lesson starts at 9:20. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays at my school, we have lessons in the morning and the kids start a bit later so that we don't have after school meetings, which is awesome. So that's what I've got on this morning. Then I have got a double lesson with my year 8s for English. So I might do a quick little tour of my classroom because some of you might not have seen it before, and then I will get myself set up before my English lesson before I head off to my meeting. Okay, so here is my year 8 and year 12 classroom this year. So we start over here, we've got our little First Nations bookshelf, then we've got some English things up on the wall, then we come around here and we have got our medieval Europe display. The students made their own little shields, their little coat of arms, which turned out really well. And then they had to make advertisements for the worst jobs in medieval Europe, which turned out really well as well. And then I come around here and we've got our history wall with our history skills posters. We've got our English wall with our film techniques posters. And then all the way over here, we have got our home group wall with our little birthdays up there, our class events, and then our whole class reward system as well, which I went through in my last video. So that's my little classroom. I love that we can look out the windows and see these beautiful gum trees. How gorgeous is that? So then this is the front of my classroom. The lights are making it a little bit glary, but we've got our Make Someone's Day Better sign because that's the sort of motto that we live by in this classroom. I've got my big TV screen, and then all the way over here, which is what I'm going to be focusing on this morning, is my quote of the day and our spelling words. So I'm just going to write them up now. Okay, so here is our quote of the day. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. So each day I pop up a quote on the board which sort of guides our day and that the students can read and sort of reflect on throughout the day. And then if we come down here, we've got our year 8 spelling words for English this week. A few random ones in there like bureaucratic and antebellum, but I like to toss a few ones that they perhaps haven't heard of before. So each week they have their spelling words. We don't do like a spelling test, but instead we do a bit of a game on a Friday to see who can spell the most, and that person wins some house points for their school house. And so yeah, there are little spelling words. Our quote of the day, so these two things are always up the front on our whiteboard at the front of the class so that they can always see them. Okay, so I think I'm all ready to go for my English lesson this morning. I've got everything planned out already. I did that yesterday, so that's good. But for now, the time is just after 8:20, which means I need to get ready for my meeting. I need to have my coffee as well. And so I will check in with you guys maybe at recess or after my lesson that's after recess to have a chat about a few more things, let you know how my day's going, all those sorts of good things. So I'll see you in an hour or so. Alright, hello again everyone. The time is now just after 12:15. So I had my meeting this morning, then I had my lesson with my year 8s, we had English, and it actually went really well. At the moment we are analysing a film. We are looking at The Princess Bride, a classic film, and we are analysing it to see how the film sort of presents ideas about gender and about medieval Europe. So in that lesson we watched some key scenes and then we worked together to analyse them. And so yeah, it was a really good lesson overall. The kids are very excited because tomorrow is sports day, so we also had a bit of sports day prep too, which was great. And then I had recess, and then after that I had a class with my international students. So I teach a program called ISEC, which is where students come across from different countries all around the world, and it's sort of like a transition program so that they can get ready for mainstream school. And so I had that class as well. At the moment, the students are investigating different careers that they'd like to have in the future. So that was a bit of fun as well. So at the moment, I've got until 1:05 as a bit of a break. So I'm just in my classroom now, but I'm going to head back into my office and I'm going to start doing some planning. If there's no one in there, I might set up my camera and do a bit of a time lapse. So we'll see if that happens or not. And then I've got lunch. And then after that, I am back with my year 8s again. I get to see them twice on Tuesdays, which is awesome. And we're doing HAS this afternoon. So we're currently studying medieval Europe, which is great. And the students are going to be putting on a medieval fair, which is awesome. They're going to do that in the last week of school. So our lesson this afternoon will be all about making stuff for their medieval fair. So each student's going to have a stall, or each group, sorry, is going to have a stall at the medieval fair. So they're currently doing all their investigating and stuff like that at the moment. So yeah, I am going to go back into my office now, do some planning, maybe do some marking, because my year 12s submitted an assignment last night. So I'll set up my camera in my office and then go from there. Alright, so I'm back at my desk now. I'm just going to do a bit of my planning for my HAS lesson with my year 8s that I have after lunch. One of my colleagues is also teaching the same thing, and he's just come up with a really great idea that the students should write a little diary each lesson. So I'm just going to look over the Word doc that he's created and make sure that it will fit my class. Then I'm going to probably move on to maybe marking some of my year 12 work, because they submitted an assignment yesterday, so I might get on to doing some of that. I don't have a lot of time left before lunch, so we'll see how much I get done, but I'll talk you through what I'm doing as I do it. Okay, so I've got my 2 laptops set up ready to go, and what I just worked on then was my daily board for my year 8 history class that I've got after lunch today. And so this little daily board is just a sort of run through that I put up at the beginning of each lesson to show the students what they're going to be doing. And so it's got the date and the day, and then it tells us what our goal is, our objective for the lesson. So for this one, today's lesson, you can see that we are aiming to finalize our focus topic for medieval Europe, for the medieval Europe fair that I spoke about before. And then we're going to begin researching. Then I've just got my little to-do list here so that when the students walk in, they know what they need to be starting with. So yeah, this one goes up on the screen at the beginning of the lesson so that they can follow it through as we go. So yeah, I think I'm all prepped and ready to go for my HAS lesson this afternoon, and I'm going to switch over to this laptop and I'm going to start doing some marking for my year 12s before I head out to lunch. Okay, so by the time I finished filming that last little bit, I realised that I only had like 15 minutes before lunch, so not a great deal of time to do some marking. So instead, I've decided that I'm going to work on my little unit plan for medieval Europe. So I sort of do this as like a running unit plan, in that I add to it as I teach a unit. So that if I ever teach this topic again, I can go back, look at this unit, and I can see what videos I watched or what I did in each lesson. So it's less as like a unit plan that I use when I'm teaching, and more so that if I ever need to come back to it and teach it again, I've got all the stuff there and all the links, and I've said what resources I've used and stuff. So I am currently a couple of lessons behind on this one, so I might just go ahead and fill in my next 2 lessons that I've already taught, so that if I ever do teach medieval Europe again, I can remember what I did. Okay, so the lunch bell has just gone, and so I'm just going to sit in my classroom for a minute and sort of get everything ready for my lesson, and then I'm going to sit down and have my lunch. But yeah, so in that free that I had, I definitely didn't get done everything that I wanted to do, which often happens as a teacher. I'm sure you would relate if you're a teacher yourself. And so I didn't get around to doing any of my year 12 marking, so instead I just filled in a little bit of that unit plan that I showed you. But yeah, so this afternoon I've got my final lesson with my year 8s. I'm really excited for this lesson because they're really getting into this medieval fair stuff, and so hopefully it'll turn out really well and they'll get a decent amount of time to work on it this afternoon, which is great. But yeah, for now I am going to go and have my lunch, and then I'll have my last lesson, so I'll probably check in with you guys again in a couple of hours right before I head home, and then yeah, I'll probably check in with you once more after I get home. Okay, so I know that I said that I wouldn't film again until after my lesson, but it's currently about 5 minutes before my lesson, and I just quickly wanted to show you the daily board that I was working on before and how it sort of works when the students are coming in. So I'll quickly flip you around to show you my screen and show you my big TV screen as well, so that you can see what the students see when they walk in the class. Okay, so here's the daily board that I showed you before, all finished on my laptop. And then here it is up on my screen as well. At my school we have a program that allows us to share our screen wirelessly, which is awesome. So there's the daily board. It's up on the screen for when the students walk in, so that it sort of avoids a lot of those questions like, what are we doing today? Because then it's all up on the board and they can read it. So as you can see, we are starting off with a little bit of film analysis. So we're doing some English in our history lesson this afternoon. And then the students get the majority of the time to work on their awesome medieval fair task. So, all right, I've got to go teach my lesson now. So I'll definitely see you all later after my lesson is finished. Alright, so it is now the end of the day. My students just left. The time is about 3:30. And so yeah, we just finished up with our HAS lesson, which went amazingly well. So as I've mentioned a few times in this video so far, the students are currently working on creating a medieval fair. And so today we watched an example of a medieval fair so that they could sort of visualize it. I found that they were sort of struggling to work out what it would actually look like when we host this fair. You know, how would we set up the tables with their things on it? How would people dress? All those sorts of things. So we watched an example on YouTube, and then the students had the rest of the lesson to brainstorm their ideas and then start researching. At the end of the lesson, I ended up giving all the students a cheeky chocolate each because they just worked so well and were really getting into it, saw great teamwork, all those sorts of things. In a previous video, I've spoken about how I use lollies and chocolate as a reward. Definitely not every lesson. In fact, it's probably only every few weeks that the chocolate fairy or the lolly fairy comes out and gives everyone a cheeky sweet treat, because just when they've worked really, really well, or maybe it's been a long day, the kids just did find out that their year 8 camp got cancelled as well, so they needed a bit of a pick-me-up this afternoon. So yeah, we ended the day eating caramello koalas, which was awesome. And yeah, now I've just sent them all off. They're all very excited because it's sports day tomorrow. So before I head home, I am just going to chuck up a few more medieval posters that I got given today just from a few students who've been away, so I'll put them up on the wall. Then I'm going to head home and I'm going to attempt to make my sports day costume. I bought a few things at the little cheapy store last night, so I'm just going to make my costume and hopefully it will turn out well, but I'll show you all what I'm making. And yeah, keep your fingers crossed that it works out well, but I'm just going to put up these posters now. I'll actually show you the posters that they made because they just look really good, and then yeah, then I'll head on home. Alright, so I've got 2 more posters to put up on the wall that the students made to either advertise various torture devices from medieval Europe or advertise jobs that no one would want to have in medieval Europe. So I'm just going to put these ones up on the wall and then I'll show you a little run through of what they all look like. So they are both up now. I'll just take you to show you what they all look like because they're actually quite funny. So like this one is for a different torture device, so someone who operates a brazen bull. And then I think it's so funny that right down the bottom it says, "We're not responsible for any burns or trauma whilst on the job." How good. And then these boys put in so much effort to make their poster look old, and they spent time drawing their medieval torture device. Then we've got people who are being a groom of the stall. If you're not sure what that is, go and look it up. It's pretty funny. So yeah, we've got these amazing posters that they made. So yeah, loving how our little medieval wall has come along this year. Hopefully we can add some more things, maybe not on this side, but perhaps down the bottom or on this side next to our crest. There's a few spaces left. So yeah, we'll see how that one turns out. But for now, I am going to head on home and then I'll show you my sports day outfit. Okay, so once again, I said I was leaving, but I just wanted to show you the amazing grounds that I work in and the fact that right up there, you can't really see it, but right up there at the very top of the tree is a beautiful little koala. So yeah, I feel very lucky to work in a school with such amazing grounds. Look at those beautiful trees. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that as I leave to get in my car to head home. Alright, so I just got home. The time is now nearly 4:30. I just had something to eat and I'm now going to attempt to make my sports day outfit. I went to the little chibi shop last night and bought some fairy wings and a little tutu, but I'm going to try and jazz up the tutu a little bit, so I'll show you what I'm doing yeah, for my sports day outfit. Hopefully it'll turn out really well. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so this is what I'm working with. I went and got some cute little fairy wings. Sorry for the rustling. Some fairy wings. I'm in the yellow house, so that is why I am getting yellow fairy wings. They didn't have a yellow tutu though, so I got a little white one and that I thought I could put some of this like tinsel-y stuff over it somehow. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do now. My students all took some of this tinsel today as well to decorate their own outfits with, so that we'll all be looking a little bit similar. So yeah, I'll just set up my camera and then sort of attempt to make my outfit. Okay, so hopefully you can see me. I think you can see me in this little shot. But yeah, this is the little tutu that I'm working with. And then I'm going to take this tinsel and try and like have sort of this situation over the top. So we'll see how it goes. I might even do just like a little time lapse so that it's a bit faster. And then show you the final product. Hopefully it won't take me too long, we'll see. I never thought that being a high school teacher I would be sitting on the ground of my living room making a skirt out of tinsel for sports day, but you know, here we are. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so this is what I ended up with. A sort of tinsel dangly row. I'm going to try and connect it together somehow, but that's tomorrow morning's problem. I'll work that out before I get to sports day. But yeah, as I said before when I was sitting on the floor making this, never once did I think that as a high school teacher I would be fashioning a skirt from tinsel, but here we are. I think that pretty much sums up what teaching is like. We tend to end up doing things that we probably never thought we would do. So yeah, I don't know, bit of fun. Hopefully the kids will appreciate my effort tomorrow, but we'll see. But yeah, so right now it is 5 to 5. I am going to finish up my video here because tonight I'm off to a CrossFit class, so I'm just going to have a bit of downtime before I head off to that one. But I just wanted to say a massive thank you for watching this video, for persevering with this video if you are still watching it at this point in time, because I really didn't know how it was going to turn out. And so hopefully I have been able to give you a bit of insight into what being a high school teacher is really like. And yeah, if you've got any questions or maybe something else that you'd like to know about what it's like to be a high school teacher, please chuck me a comment below or maybe send me a direct message on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. But for now, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!